Alright, welcome back to another video of mine. This is going to be what I call the Trinity Weaver build. This build is actually similarly used on Drow Ranger. Well, not really. I'll get onto that build another time. But for now, let's get on to the Weaver build. It's called the Gemini build, or the Trinity build, because you use 3 orb effects. So one's going to be the Mjolnir and Javelin and Basher. Do you see what happened there? It built 2 Maelstroms. So this is a lesson for the video. I did that on purpose. You need to lock your Javelin when buying Basher for future reference. And this is basically what your build will look like. But you'll have a bottle as well, because bottle's just too good on this hero. So this is basically what your end game will be, but this is what your build will want to be. You'll just want to rush these 2 items no matter what. Rushing Javelin into Maelstrom into another Javelin. The reason why it's incredibly good is because they recently, well, not recently, but a while back, they changed how the procs work. They're no longer bound by procs per second. So what that means is I can just proc both on a single attack. And I'll see if I can get it. You'll see the 70 proc above, and you'll see the lightning proc from my weapon. So there it was. It wasn't on the same attack, but within the same 2, you can just proc both attacks. There it was. Actually, that was a money proc. And as you can see, it's kind of like a casino build, like a Chaos Knight, or I like to call him Casino Knight. So at random, you can just do absurd amounts of damage. And the great thing about Weaver is you're always going to have opportunities to just throw on this heat with the Gemini attack, because it's a 3-second fucking cooldown. And which is why we max it first. So at 7, it has to be maxed. That's the whole point of the build. And I like to play this build in the off lane because you just attack the carry and you just follow him. Like, what ends up happening is, because Shukuchi is so good early on in the laning phase, it's really hard for you to miss farm. And with Gemini attack as well, it's incredibly difficult to miss farm. On top of bottle for your bounty runes, and even just, checking bottom runes for your middle, you fix your mana issues and you get some regen. And it eventually saves you a lot of time in the well, because being able to spam bottle for regen is really helpful, and it saves you a lot of downtime. So it ends up just saving you a lot of time, and it's very efficient. And you can Shukuchi bottle, which is just a godlike feature. Yeah, so after this point, you're going to be really squishy, right? Because you have pure damage. So what I like to do is go Vanguard. Now you're probably wondering, like, what the fucking Vanguard? Yeah, it's actually not that bad. It makes you really hard to kill, even for a Weaver, because you have some decent armor. So it scales really well. That negative 32 scales really well with your high armor count as an agility hero. You're going to have 9 strength early on to pump you up too. So you have 1400 health, and you have deflect on attack. So it's actually pretty useful. And like, as Weaver, you do want to play close with Shukuchi. So this is going to kind of just help you stay alive. But also the Vanguard's going to act as a way to farm neutrals without taking too much damage. And in general, a ring of health early on is just really nice. But then we go into Basher, and because the way Gemini attack works, as you know, you just have a 20% chance to bash as opposed to a 10. And, if it doesn't proc, it's really not a big deal, but eventually it will proc. and eventually it you just start killing people. It's a really it's a really annoying build. I'll try to get it on camera, but you can double stun instantly. They don't really stack, but it can happen. The I'll explain how that works. So the way it happens is you're not getting double the damage, but what happens is the game's procking accidentally at the same time. So you don't really gain any duration. You gain like 0.1 seconds of stun before and that's about it. You don't really gain damage, but it can happen. And then when you hit level 25, which is forever away, you're going to have that 30% chance to proc. You can see where this is going, right? So, with that said, you don't have to go Basher if you don't want to. But if you do go Basher, you can go into Abyssal. Now, it's really expensive, but with Shukuchi being so good, you can just fucking open with a stun. And it's just really nice. Playing a hero that can actually, maneuver. Mind you, it's really expensive, but if you wanted to just go, let's say, a different build, there is this one. You can go Vanguard into MKB if you want to go some high magic. And then this is the true Trinity. The Magic Trinity. Now, mind you, this build isn't good against BKB, but what it does really well is kill everyone else who doesn't have one. You can effectively proc upwards of 450 magic damage, essentially, through a series of Geminite attacks. Let's get a dummy target for calibration. Oh, I wish we could show magic. But yeah, MKB is just really expensive, which is why I'm not so fond of it on Weaver. But it's really good if they have evasion, right? So it all comes down to what you want to buy. But then once you have... Oh my god, I did it again. Make sure to lock your hammers, boys. Once you have the true build, this is potentially what your build could look like. Alright, pretty interesting. So this is kind of like a casino build, basically. You just roll the dice, basically. It's like Ogre Magi, And, yeah. Shoutouts, if you get a Quiver, then it becomes... If you get Quiver with this build, it's a blowout. I'm talking blowout. Absolute blowout. But yeah, this build's really fun, and it's super snowbally. And all you do is you just pick on the safe lane and the carries and the supports. And they really can't do anything to stop you. And Grove Bow is obviously really good too. This build's good because of a lot of the neutral items. What else is there? The Mana Breaker, Mind Breaker, excuse me. Not really tier 4 per se, but yeah. This build's really cool. So yeah, good luck with this one. Like I said, the early Vanguard can be really useful, or even just a Ring of Health in lane. You don't even have to build a Vanguard sometimes. But I recommend it because we build into the Abyssal later on. But yeah, other than that, I think that about covers it up. And you can buy pretty much anything after this. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything I didn't cover with this build. Talents really don't matter. You just need the Geminate attack at level 25. No, that's about it. That covers the build. Yeah, that's it. Happy hunting.